Good morning. Saturday morning here. Tommy and I are going to do a little driving video here. Probably basically the same old scenery. We don't venture out too far these days, especially with gas prices the way they are. And we're going to meet Leo, or better known as Lionel, K1ZEK, at the McDonald's. We're a little early right now, so we'll just take the long way to McDonald's. Not that far out of the way, just maybe 3 or 4 miles. So let's go.
Hey folks.
Leo, how you doing?
All right. Nice to see you.
You beat me here today.
I know.
Tommy and I, we took the long way around to get a little foliage, not that much foliage.
It's only about 10 miles or 12 miles from my house to here. I can't believe it's that close.
Yeah.
When I lived in South Carolina, it took me 7 miles to get to the end of my street, and I'm still out in the woods.
Yeah. How's the gas prices over there in Groton?
I think it was it $3.42 or something like that? It's pretty expensive.
It's a lot more than that here.
Yeah, I think it was
a
$3.42.
lot more than that.
Yeah. So.
All right, Tom, over here. We'll just put this up in here. Here it is.
All right.
Listen, I'll carry it over for you.
Listen, I know you didn't. It was funny. I started to bid on it, and then you started to bid on it, and I says, well, I'll let Bill have
I didn't see you.
I know, because I was sitting on the other side of you. So I says, but whatever you paid for this bill, I want to give it back to you. There's no need for you to lose, not get your money back.
Well, I paid 24, but that's what it ended up to be. But if I knew you were bidding on this, I would not have, because it's something. I haven't figured out how to use it. I can't get any information on this whatsoever.
Yeah.
On the internet, nothing at all. There's Data Royal Corporation, but nothing. They have something. They do other things. They're not even instrumentation.
Yeah, that must have been a government contract that they must have got and built it for that.
On the back here, you got the waveforms.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay, you sign the square. All these come out. The waveforms come out. Okay, I'm getting the waveforms, but without the book on how to use it, I really don't know. This band here, what it's on now, I'm getting output.
Yeah. Out
here, 50 ohms, 600 ohms. So I'm getting the output. But on the rest of them, I'm not getting anything but hash on the scope. I have to really put the gain all the way up to just a hash coming through.
Okay.
But it apparently did work down here, down to just a couple of cycles a second.
Yeah.
You know, up to several, 20 or 30 megs at least.
Huh.
So, whatever. You being into instrumentation, perhaps you can figure the thing out.
Yeah.
I don't understand this here. The output, you see with the O/S?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means because I don't have the book on it. And then the O with a line through it.
Yeah, I think that has to do with the
when both these
the waveform in synchronization. This is 180 degrees out of phase. This is 0.
That's what I figured.
I don't know what this OS means.
Well, when I put both of these buttons in, and you put the on, and you hit sine wave, you get it. When you push one of them out, you either lose it or you get half the waveform. It's weird.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but let me carry it over for you.
It'll be fun.
And then we'll go inside and have coffee.
All right. Yeah, my son was still sleeping this morning, so I said to him,
You didn't want to wake him?
Well, I did. I knocked on his door and I said, hey, you want to go for coffee with Bill and Tommy? He was still sleeping, but he didn't see it, so I left him sleeping. He worked hard yesterday.
Now you guys are driving ground stakes in from what you told me in your house, huh?
Yeah, I could only get them down maybe 6 feet, 4 feet sometimes. I put 4 around my shed, plus 1 for the electrical service for the shed. And they all have to be bonded together. And So I was going to rent a pneumatic hammer, and a friend of mine who is an electrician, no, I'll drop one off for you. So he dropped one off, and so that made easy work of it. I should have videotaped it.
Yeah, that would have made a good video there.
I just haven't gotten back since I got sick in South Carolina. I just haven't gotten back into making videos. And now I've been so darn busy. Now I've been so darn busy that I'll just put that in the big box there, so it'll stay safe.
Well, you got another toy to play with.
Yeah.
You got room in your ham shack for it?
Well, I'm gonna have.
Is it big enough? Did you make the shop big enough?
Never big enough. Never big enough. Let me lock this buggy up. Let me go around the other side. Yeah. Oh, it's locked already.
Okay, let's go inside. Good morning, folks. We're over here at old McDonald's farm, and Tommy's going to do the recording of Leo and I shooting the breeze here. You ready, Tom?
Yes.
Okay, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Geraniums, how you doing out there in YouTube land? Well, Leo, so it's been what? Almost a year, has it been?
Yeah, it's been a long
Remember
time.
we did that video there
At
in
my
the
shop, yeah.
At your shop, yeah. So tell us what's really going on these days. What have you been doing?
Well, I haven't been in the shop since you were there last.
You haven't been in it at all?
No, I've been in and out of it.
But you haven't set up anything? No hand stuff?
I haven't done anything in there. I have been so busy. My son and I took out every piece of pipe in the house.
The plumbing?
Every plumbing pipe in the house. We cut it all the way back to a stub this big coming out of the cement. And we completely replumbed the house using PEX with crimp connections. And we used two manifolds, one for hot water and one for cold water.
Yeah.
And then we took out every piece of wiring and every electrical box in the house.
And you're rewiring the whole house?
Rewiring the whole house.
Wow.
And then
That's a lot of work.
Yeah, especially when there's no walk-around attic, it's a crawl space. And the house is on a slab. So everything has to be done from top down in the walls.
And that's not easy, snaking wire up to the walls.
It's tough.
When we lived on Broad Street in New London, back in the 1975, I rewired the entire house.
Oh, did you? Yeah.
Under the supervision of a licensed electrician. And it had to be approved.
Yeah.
And I was working under the licensed electrician at that time, and he signed off on it, and it was fine. It all passed inspection.
Good job.
Everything was done properly. Of course, the landlord only wanted us. We had a 30 amp service, a knob and tube wiring originally.
Yeah.
And the electrician, because the landlord wanted to cut corners, save money, we wanted a 100 amp service, but he put in 60.
Yeah.
He says, well, you only need a 60. We didn't have any electric stoves or anything.
Right.
So all we had is an air conditioner in the house, wall air conditioner. So the second floor and the first floor both got 60 amp services, and they're wired in. Everything's done properly. I wired the entire house with 12 gauge wire, even in the ceilings. With the exception of some of the ceiling lights with 14. It calls for 14 for a 15 amp service.
Right.
20 amp uses 12 wire, and I overdid it with more wiring. And that's just
better off.
Yeah, right. But I worked under a licensed electrician with that, and that's the way it is. And it worked out really well. There was no problem whatsoever. Everything passed inspection, and
Well, that's what I've been doing. I pulled the permits myself because I own the house, so I pulled them myself. I still have to have everything inspected.
Yeah.
And So everything's going along good, and then I decided to put in a electric on-demand hot water heater, a 3-zone unit, because I didn't know exactly. See, in the winter when the water is really cold, it takes longer for the water to heat up than it does in the summer. It's 20 degrees warmer in the summer, the water. So with these systems, the water comes into these 3 small chambers, and it heats it up as it's going through.
So it was no tank then, right?
Tankless.
Was it a coil?
No, it's 3 little chambers. You know how in a regular electric hot water tank you have this loop, one single loop element, one element that goes in and it heats the water. And
the heating element.
Yeah, the heating element. Well, this has 3 of those, and they're in individual chambers about maybe 2 inches in diameter, and the water is forced through the first one, cycles up through the second one, and then cycles through the third one. And it measures the temperature in each one and turns it on or turns it off as needed. So that way you're not using electricity unnecessarily. So we installed that, but each one of those takes a 40 amp breaker.
Wow, talk about an electricity heater.
Well, the funny thing is my electric bill was down to $170 from $280 something.
Yeah, well, we're paying over $200 now for ours.
Yeah.
And the only thing we use in the winter time, in the summertime, is my son's AC 5,000 BTU and a 15,000 BTU in the front room, which is 120 volt, and that draws 12 amps normally.
Yeah.
See? And I don't dare run the other one in the other room because we only got 60 amp, and that's all the park has is 60 amp.
Yeah.
And our electric bills are very, very high, but Connecticut is very high anyway.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Well, the other thing we did was we took out the furnace because that was a real old thing.
What are you using? New furnace now?
No, my son and I, the Lord bless me, I'll tell you, I have a great son and a wonderful daughter. And my son and I, you and I are both in the same boat. We are both blessed with wonderful families. We really, really are. The Lord has really blessed us. I love Tommy. I remember Tommy when he was this big.
Yeah.
Now look at him. He's a nice young man. And don't let it go to your head now, Tommy. So my son and I took the furnace out and took all the base ray out in the house, and we put in 2 heat pumps, mini split systems made by Mr. Cool.
I've heard of the mini split.
Yeah, you have to come over and see them. They work super.
Aren't they air conditioning?
They're both. You get in the winter, they're heat pumps. So in the winter, it squeees, it uses the heat from the system itself as it compresses the liquid in it, the Freon. It gets hot, and that heat is what you use to heat your house. And
I've heard of it. The mini split was, I don't know if you watched the Bus Grease Monkey. Well, I've been watching him for a very long time. Basically, that's what he's got in his bus.
Oh, okay.
For his living quarters.
Yeah, well, we got one in each bedroom, one in the living room, and one in the den. And the kitchen's between the 2 den and the living room, so it gets heat that way. But they work great. Oh yeah, in the summer the house is nice and cool. And so I have one heat pump at one end of the house, outside, and the other one outside at the other end of the house. And one feeds the 3 bedrooms, and the other one feeds the living room and the den at the other end of the house. And so those both take, one takes a 30 amp breaker and the other one takes a 40 amp breaker. So then we also bought all new appliances, and because the house that when we bought it had real old appliances. And so we bought all new appliances and everything, and it's all that new energy efficient stuff.
Yeah, the only problem is with the new stuff is they all use the keypads,
Yeah.
which means if that goes on you, it's half the cost of the
Not
the whole
only
appliance.
I don't mind that so much, but what gets my goat is every piece of appliance we have now has a internet connection with Wi-Fi.
I wouldn't use it.
Yeah, I'm not.
I wouldn't connect it. I don't care what any. I would never connect my TV if I had one.
Yeah.
We don't have that kind of a television, but I wouldn't put it up there. I think these people that do that is crazy.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you the truth. I should have brought it with me. It wasn't a few months ago. I said to my wife, I had a cup of coffee. What I do is when I make, we got one of those coffee things. You put the cups in it, you know, and you.
Yes, individual.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all you need.
Yeah.
Your small family.
And so I says, I had a cup of coffee sitting in the kitchen, and my wife was heading there, and I says to her, "Hey, Ellen, how did I word it? Don't you think about touching that cup of coffee in there or something like that?" Or I said something kind of funny like that. And about an hour and a half later, the printer starts printing. Right? And out comes this sheet of paper from the printer with this gargoyle on it, like this. And it says, "You touch my cup of coffee, and they won't even find you doing a Google search." Now, how did that...
What it is, and I don't care what
Somebody
anybody
has to
says.
be listening. Somebody,
All this stuff is spying on people.
Somebody
All this
has to be
smart
listening.
Stuff, all this stuff that connects to the internet, your appliances, it's spying on you.
I agree with you 100%. And not only that,
I won't do it. I won't connect it. If I had it, I wouldn't use it.
the remote controls, you tell your TV,
No,
Channel 7.
absolutely not. I will not do
Somebody's
that.
listening. I'm sweet. Even
Sure they are.
even your cell phone.
Yeah,
You look at the crap that's on your apps.
yeah.
that they
I
wanna-
don't use it. I use this right here.
Yeah. Well, I have one of those,
Yeah.
but it
And they
broke.
can't. I mean, it's bad enough they can tune in on your conversation. It's digital. You know, I remember
Yeah.
years ago when it was analog, you could listen to cell phone on a
yeah,
scanner.
yeah.
But they would change the frequency
yeah,
when they're
the
driving
trumpet.
along to be a different
Yeah,
tower and a different
yeah,
frequency.
yeah.
Now you can't. So you got to be careful. I don't even want to put any personal or credit card information or anything out there on a wireless device.
Somehow, there's some device in my house that somebody was listening in on and heard me say that to my wife. Because what, in an hour or so later, what would that be printing out of my printer?
Is it your coffee pot Wi-Fi?
No. And I didn't have those new appliances
It
then.
could be the television.
Well, it could have been, we got 2 smart TVs,
Yeah, there you go.
and the laptops were all, we got, my wife and I,
Any one of them could pick. They could have
could have been
picked it up.
listening. Yeah.
Yep.
Or any of our smartphones. There's 3 of us that have smartphones in the house.
Yeah.
Could have been my wife's phone or my phone. My son, I don't think, was in the room at the time. I don't know.
No way.
But that's, anyways, I got it stuck to the door, the metal door between the house and the garage. I got a magnet holding it there just to remind us to keep our mouth shut.
It's pretty bad when you can't even talk in your own home.
Yeah.
Or in your own car.
Yeah,
That is pretty bad, though.
yeah. We have friends that have this box. What do they call it? You talk to it.
Yeah, I won't use that. That's another spy device.
Yeah, and I was telling them that, you know, because we stayed at their house for a while when we were looking for a house up here. I was telling them, you know, this thing is listening to you, and all you got to do is say whatever the hell you call it. I forgot now.
Alexia.
Alexa.
Yeah.
And all you got to do is
Alexa, yeah.
Alexa. And all you got to do is say that in a conversation, and the thing perks its ears up.
No
you know?
way. I wouldn't own one.
Oh,
Even if I could afford it. Yeah.
I had a post on YouTube that was, it wouldn't post it. It warned me that it was insensitive. Right? This guy that I watch, Masters Only or something like that. He has videos of fires in New York. He goes around following. He's a fire buff.
Yeah.
And somebody had parked next to the fire hydrant, and the firemen couldn't get the hose around the car. They put it right through the windows of the car to get to the hydrant for
Wow.
the building fire there. And I posted back. I says, you know, this is the kind of asshole that would turn around and holler at the fire department that you're taking too long to put the fire out.
Right, because of people doing things like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, right.
Well, YouTube wouldn't post my the word asshole because they said it was insensitive. And this, so I changed it to AH, capital A, capital H, and it went through. But I mean,
they spy on you. Even when you do a Google search.
oh yeah.
They you know, you notice that if you do a Google search on any one thing, that you get related things in the future for other things that come up because you know they know everything you're typing there.
You look.
People are crazy to publish
You look
things
up,
like
you
that.
look up. You look up. You go to an ad. Go to Walmart or something like that, and look up toilet paper. I don't care. Whatever you look up. For 2 days, you're going to get pop-up ads from all kinds of companies. For toilet
selling
paper.
you something. Yeah, toilet paper products or something. Yeah.
There's no privacy left.
Give me the old. That's why I like the old days.
Yeah.
That's why and I wish we could bring them back.
It ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, I know it isn't.
It's
I know
a shame.
This coffee's good.
Yeah, very good. Thanks for the coffee, Bill.
Oh, not a problem.
Here's to our YouTube watchers. I'm sorry I haven't made a video in about 3 or 4 years or more. I will, I hope. K1ZEK.
Yeah, so you got a lot more wiring to do on the house.
Well,
you're pretty well getting.
Where the house itself is all done. My son and I put in a 200 amp panel, a big panel, and we put in a new conduit up the side of the house with a new entrance cable. And the only thing I got left to do really is call the inspector and have him come and inspect the panel, and then I can have the power company hook it up. But before I have him inspect the panel, I wanted to run that new cable out to my ham shack
and set that up too at the same time, right?
Yeah, because they have to come to inspect that anyway. So I figured, well, I'll get them to do
Get
both
that
at
to
the
do
same.
and then do the whole thing. Now, what about the ham shack? What size panel are you putting in that?
Well, there's a 100 amp panel in there, but I've got it set up for a 60 amp service.
Yeah, so you probably, unless you're running a 1500 watt linear on your ham.
I'm running a 1,000 watt linear.
Yeah, well, what does that draw? About 30 amps?
Yeah, 30
Yeah, I
amps.
thought so.
Yeah. So, but I figured in the future, if my wife throws me out of the house, I might live out there. No, I'm only kidding. She would never do it. But so, anyways, I have been so busy, and we completely put in all new kitchen floor. We put in all new cabinets.
Nice.
Put in all new appliances.
You've been busy.
Yeah.
And do you need to make the house bigger, or are you okay?
Oh no, the house is plenty big enough. It's 3 bedrooms, plenty big enough,
Oh, okay.
and it's got a big addition on it, a den.
Do you have a basement?
No, it's on a slab.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's the only thing. I wish I had a basement and an attic.
I'm
But
surprised in Groton that they wouldn't have a basement. Most
Well,
houses
this
do.
was-
It's not like Florida, everything's on a slab.
well, this isn't a development, in which was built in. I think this house was built in '58 or '59.
Yeah.
And the development was post-war development, and they were inexpensive houses. They're all small ranch houses, and it's right across the street from the senior center. So I
You can walk over to senior center.
Oh yeah, it's
And
only.
you're eligible to go to the
Oh
senior
God,
center.
yeah, I'll be 76 in 3 weeks.
Congratulations. You're a year younger than I am.
Yes, I know.
I'm 77 going on 107, folks. And believe me, I feel it.
And ever since I met this guy, he's been the nicest guy in the world. And all you YouTubers who always say God bless him and all of that, thank you, because he is a blessed person. He is a nice, real good person.
Well, I
Yeah.
appreciate that, but I try to be honest, and sometimes I call it like it is, and that's just the way I am. And sometimes some people get upset, like with the vaccine thing there,
Yeah. Well, that's a hoax. The whole thing is don't get me started.
Yeah.
This whole thing is just a way for the government to control us. It's just we went.
Well, we got our booster shots, Sandy
Me
and
too.
I.
Yeah.
So we're protected, but
We got our booster shots, and now we even got our flu shots.
that's something that I never get, because the flu shot is only 30% effective, and unless it's about 90% effective, I'm not going to get it. It's just a waste. But the virus shot, yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. We got ours a couple of weeks ago, the J&J booster shot. So wife and I are fine, and she's doing good.
Yeah.
Her
Well, I always pray for you and Sandy all the time. When I pray for my family, I always include you guys, and God bless David and Sue. I pray for them all the time. They had departed.
Yeah, we miss Dave. He was, I'll tell you, like I said in the other video there, Dave was one heck of a guy. He could aggravate the hell out of me.
God, he could.
Oh man, that guy could aggravate. I remember telling you, we used to go out for pizza, to Ocean Pizza in London.
Yeah.
And I never forget, there was a waitress over there that would say, "Hello, David, darling," just a waitress. And Dave and I would order a pizza. I think it was a special with everything on it except anchovies. Don't eat anchovies. Look. Anyways, at the time, I used to carry pens around because I'd work at Aiken's Electronics as a counterman.
Yeah.
And Dave would say, "Can I borrow your pen?" I said, "Sure." I give the pen. He would sit there, and you'd take the pen all apart very carefully, take every section of spring out and everything else, lay it all out on the table.
That's Dave.
And then he'd push it over and say, "There you go."
Yeah. That's Dave. He used to when I had 40-year communications. I had a Motorola shop. I had to go with computer systems because all the radios were becoming computerized, and everything. And Dave would come over. He was like my IT man,
Yeah.
And I was trying to learn this stuff. And he was so advanced that, I was more of a thorn in his side than anything else, because I'm trying to look over his shoulder and trying to learn the stuff. And we were building our own computers, He used to say, "Oh, go into your office and do this for me." And I'd be in my office for an hour trying to do something for him. And then I would say, "Dave, why am I doing this?" He says, "It's a make-do job." Make you get out of my way. He used to make do jobs, give you jobs that didn't mean nothing just to get you caught.
Well, the problem with Dave is that I had problems. I'd ask him something.
Yeah, but he expects you to know it.
He expects you to know it. I can't absorb things sometimes when it comes to computers, because he was into DOS. When I first started out, I had an IBM Model 50Z, which had a 50 megabyte hard drive. It was a PS2.
Yeah, the old PS2.
A little built-in speaker.
Yeah.
And I was learning on that Windows 3.1 and stuff. And that's about all I could do. And then when we got Windows 95, he helped me with that, but then I couldn't. He'd tell me to do this, this, and this, and I wouldn't. After he explained it, I knew less than after he told me what, because he'd talk fast. He'd say to do this, do that. I cannot absorb it. I can't.
Yeah. Well,
and so
he was a genius.
And he would get mad, because then at the time I was working at Pfizer. So when a technician came over to install software in our computers, we each had a computer over there that we had to use to do our time cards and everything, and go on the internet and stuff like that for business, to work. And I would ask the technician the same question I'd asked Dave. And when Dave found out about it, he got really mad. I said, "But Dave, this guy explained it where I can understand it. You don't." And he got to a point where he didn't want to help me out anymore, because the way he would explain it, he would talk too fast.
He was advanced. He was
so advanced that he expected me to know what he was talking about.
They wanted to send him to start be in charge of the computers for Pfizer's in France.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that, but I know he was the head of computer shop. The computer center at Pfizer. He was the head one over there.
They wanted to send him to France. but he didn't want to go. Yeah.
That guy was a genius, and when I first,
I pray for him and Sue.
I
all
know
the
he was a
time.
wonderful guy, wonderful friend.
And poor Sue
I'll
died
tell you,
of cancer too.
he had a good sense of humor. He would help me out on the 8mm skits that I used to do with a Herman Scum and stuff like that. And when in the attic when I lived in New London, and he would help me out with the camera work and stuff while I was doing the movies, and stuff that I.
Well, we've been blessed. You and I have been blessed, and by having wonderful family like you and Tommy and Sandy, and friends, and and we have great YouTube followers.
Yeah, I got a good. I have to say, I got a lot of good viewers out there. That
I like
really
to say,
helped me, and I got
yeah.
people. But when it comes to computers, I just said no more computer questions and stuff because no matter what I am told, it does not work for me.
Yeah, it's
period.
Yeah, it's really difficult. This new computer stuff is
so.
Is just,
I have trouble. I haven't lately. It gets bad enough, we just replace the computer or bring it to a computer shop.
Yeah.
Which, in this day and age, don't seem to be too many around.
No, well, it's all. If you go to the Geek Squad or you go to Staples, you
pay big money for them, and half the time they don't fix it right anyway.
Yeah, they want you to have insurance things, like the Geek Squad. I have a thing with the Geek Squad with Best Buy. All the appliances we bought, the stove, the refrigerator, the microwave, the dishwasher, all the appliances and everything we bought, all are from Best Buy, and they're all LG, and we got like a 40% discount.
Wow.
Yeah, because we bought a house package, and we got a discount on a service policy for 3 years after the manufacturer's warranty. Then they service it. That's what they expect today. That's the only way you can get along today.
Yeah, and they come and service it if there's any problem with the electronics.
Yeah.
If that's what you have to do, pay. You got to be,
Well, there's
kind of a lot of money.
There's a company called Hilti that makes commercial tools for.
Yeah, I've heard of Hilti.
Yeah. And they just, in Europe right now, they're coming out with a program. If you're, say, an electrician, you can contact them. A rep will come to your company. They'll supply you with all the tools that you need for your whole business, and they rent them to you by the month. And if something goes wrong with a tool, they'll come and replace it or fix it for you. Okay? This is what it's coming to. Even the tradespeople are now becoming renters of their equipment.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. We're becoming robots to robots.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what it is. It's all spying on you and all that stuff with this thing here. Even with Windows 10, they spy on you. I've heard many things about that. And I will not move to Windows 10. I'm sorry. I do have the shuttle that I got from Jim, and it's very quick on Windows Movie Maker. It won't work on Sony Movie Studio 13 anymore. It just stopped. It just will not work. It will not. The program no longer comes up.
Yeah.
So I uninstalled it. And so.
Well, that's all intentional.
I honestly believe Windows 10 is locking things out.
Well, and Windows 11 is now out.
Oh, that's supposed to be impossible. That's supposed to be very, very bad, from what I hear. It's on the Antique Radio Forum in the Clubhouse section. There's a discussion about that.
Yeah.
When I'm on the Antique Radio Forum, and in the Clubhouse section they talk about everything, not necessarily radio.
I will have to get into that. Yeah.
Yeah, it don't cost anything to register. I've been on it since the 90s. In there, but I won't stay with Windows 7 as long as it's working, and I don't have any problem with it. Sandy has Windows 10, but she don't do videos. She uses does Facebook and pictures and stuff, and you know, stuff like that, and banking and all that stuff, you know. And I just use my email, and I haven't bought anything on eBay because I don't have any money to put into my little. I have a small account that I put in only enough to buy a little item that I want, you know. And so I'm not worried about that. If they ever got into that, all they're going to get is $10 or $20, you know, and that's it. There's no hundreds or thousands of dollars. So I'm not worried about it. I use Windows 7. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I use PayPal.
I do. Yeah.
Because I when I see something on eBay, I just bought, which I was going to bring it and I forgot. I just bought this little camera. It's on a long, I think it's like 13 feet or something like that, of wire, and the camera is about this long and is half the size of my little finger, and tiny in diameter. You can stick it in your ear.
Oh, it's like yeah.
And you can take and put it on a circuit board and look at it on your TV or your computer.
Oh yeah, like I can't think of the name of it. A scope camera. Or something like that.
And it's waterproof. You can put it down the drain.
It's like the kind they give you the colonoscopy.
Well, it's not. They do have one that has like 0 focal length, but this one is, I think, 2-inch focal length.
Yeah. So you got to be within that 2 inches, or can you be 2 inches and further?
2 inches and further.
Oh yeah.
And it has 6 LEDs in it. You know. And I bought it to look down the partition because I dropped one of my. I dropped this tester that you put next to the wire, non-contact tester, to make sure it's not live.
Yeah, the non-contact.
I dropped it down the partition, and I'm not sure which bay it's in. So before I cut a hole in the wall for it, it's only $10 item, but I can't see leaving it in the wall. I just not made.
Well,
that.
I have one that I got at Harbor Freight about 5-6 years ago, and it's the same thing like that. You know, you got a little screen on it. You know. You hold it. It's got probably a 3 or 4 foot flex tube.
Yeah. Oh, you do.
But it is pretty flexible. Yeah. And it's too big to put down a spark plug hole if you want to inspect the inside of an engine or something.
Yeah, this
it's
you can
still
do that
too
with.
big for that. But
you can put it down in
the wall. That would work.
It's made for drains. It's waterproof and stuff.
Yeah, that's what this is.
Yeah. But I'd like to say, if Sky Call, if you see this, I'd like to say hi. You're looking great.
Yeah, he's got that surgery on his eyelids. He's looking very good.
Looking good. Yeah.
I'm glad everything's coming out good. You'll be as good as new in no time, Carl.
That's right. You'll be out there shoveling snow.
He lives in Ohio. We'll be getting snow.
Yeah.
I bet you don't miss the snow though, living up here compared to down there.
No, I made a rule. If I'm not getting out of bed unless it's over 40 degrees. That's it. I'm going to stay in bed.
Well, that means you're going to be in bed for the whole winter.
I'm going to be in bed.
How are you going to get anything done?
I don't know, but I'm going to watch a lot of YouTube. Oh yeah. And you know who brings out the worst in me? The person, Doug.
Who?
Doug.
Moslack. Hi, Doug.
Hi, Doug.
We're talking about you now.
I love that guy. I really do.
He's good. I enjoy him.
He's a good egg.
Yeah,
he really is. But when I always say silly things to him. I have to watch myself, you know. I don't know. I just feel so comfortable with him. You know?
Yeah, he's a good egg. He really is. Yeah. You know, I enjoy him.
And takes care of his family and everything, you know. And yeah, he's a nice guy. Don't let it go to your head.
Right.
See, he brings out the worst in me. But I enjoy YouTube. I enjoy it a lot. And Buzz, I wish Buzz would make more.
Buzz don't seem to make very many videos anymore. I don't know. He never really explained why. But he does take his time when he makes them. They're excellent. They're top notch. I've said this before.
Yeah.
And
Shango,
that might be why he produces quality videos, not videos in quantity like I do. I just throw them together, put them out there. You know.
Well,
Shango 66. I watch a lot of his.
I went back to his beginning and I put it on auto and I watched every one of his ever videos.
You know how long that's going to take you?
I've done it. I've been doing it for a couple of years. He is really a neat guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's some of his sayings he got.
Oh, he's right. He is perfect. I love that guy. He's politically, he is correct. That's all I can say. He is a nice guy. I like him. But and you know what? I've been watching. I don't understand these boat people in Vietnam in the Mekong Delta. They have these little barges that they live on. These families actually live on them.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting to watch them rebuild those boats. That's the part that I like the most, is the boat building. Yeah, you can watch all kinds of stuff on YouTube. It's just amazing.
Yeah. And you know who I like too? Because he talks slow and clear.
I know who you're going to say. Let me guess. Radio Phono.
He's another one, but the radio shop. Buddy.
Oh, Buddy, yeah.
Yeah.
Haven't seen him.
Oh yeah, he just put a video out not too long ago.
Yeah.
I'm subscribed to him, so
Yeah.
He don't put them out all that often, but he,
Yeah, well, he's kind of busy. I don't know. He works at some fat plant or something. Yeah.
But the radio, TV, phone or not, he's got a new camera now.
Yeah,
His
somebody gave
audio
him
is different though.
Yeah, I love his voice. He is just so calming to listen to. Yeah, I watch his.
But he's almost like me.
Yeah.
And I didn't get it from him. I was always this way.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell it like it is.
Yeah.
If I don't like something, I will say it.
Yeah.
And that's basically the way he is.
Yeah.
And when you listen to him, he says, I think to myself, this guy's complaining like I do. But you know what?
He's right.
It's okay. It's correct.
Yeah.
It's correct.
Yeah.
And if I don't like something, I'm not going to say that's okay. Because if it isn't okay, I don't like it. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I like that guy.
And if you don't like it, watch something else.
he's got a pretty good sized dog too to hang in his yard. Yeah, nice big dog. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's always working on something. It's always handheld, though. I mean, it would be nice if he had a tripod and used it.
Well, that's like Shango, 66.
Yeah, everything's handheld. I
don't tell him that though, because
no, I wouldn't.
No, but I mean, people tell him that. Don't you know what a tripod is and all of that?
Oh yeah, I've never said that.
Oh no, but people do, and he goes off on a rant sometimes.
Really?
Yeah. Don't tell me I don't know what a tripod is. He'll say.
No, I wouldn't say that.
He's a funny guy. I like that guy.
Yeah.
I'm
subscribed to him, so when I get a radio, TV, phone or not, I'll look and see how long the video is. If some of them are 45 minutes or an hour.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah. And I'll save them off to the side. I won't watch them yet. They're in my list. And I'll watch something else, and then when I got the time a little later on, I'll have a bowl of cherry vanilla ice cream, and yes, my A1C is 6.4, so cherry vanilla ice cream in front of the computer, and put radio, TV, phone or not on, and eat my ice cream.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
So I have all my snacks, the unhealthy things, my readings are good. And I can't put any weight on no matter what I do.
Oh, I can.
None at all.
I put on 20 pounds since I come back from South Carolina. Yeah. But I went to the heart doctor a couple days ago and had electro...
Cardiogram?
Yeah, he sent me to the hospital.
Echo...
whatever it's called, but they look
echocardiogram. Echocardiogram, I think, the sound one.
Yeah, and everything's good. I'm healthy. So, but I gotta lose that weight again. I gotta get back down again.
You gotta get out and start digging trenches.
Oh yeah.
By hand.
No, not by hand.
I don't think I can do one.
No, not anymore. Not at our age. No.
I remember you used to put, when you lived in Niantic, you used to put the towers up.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You had the communication there, the Motorola.
Yeah.
You have a license to work on transmitters, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, I didn't. I had a state master license for low voltage and communications. I never had a FCC first class license. At that time, you didn't need one. You just had to have traceable equipment. Matter of fact, you still don't need one anymore. You just have to have traceable equipment for your setting up the equipment, your frequency counters and stuff like that. I just bought a resistance tester to, I think I told you.
Yeah, they check, it's very low ohms.
Yeah.
We're checking the resistance.
For ground rods.
Ground rods
yeah.
between one ground rod and another.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did that to the house, and I put a ground loop around the ham shack, and I started to test the ground rods. They're all down around 13 ohms.
And when they're supposed to be, what, in the low 20s?
Anything below 24 ohms is good. And so once you start tying them together, either you're going to go up in a little bit in resistance or down. Usually it goes down.
So you're measuring from one ground rod to another. So what do you got, leads on this meter? That's got a resistance too, right?
Yeah, well, you got 3 leads on a meter. One goes to the ground rod or your ground system on the test. And then you have 2 other leads in which go out to stakes that you put in the ground.
Oh, I see.
And you take a base reading with the 2 stakes in the same plane, along the same line on the ground. Then you move the short stake 20 feet this way, and then you move the other one, then you move it again 20 feet that way. And you take those readings, you average them, and then you take the average and subtract it from your initial ground reading, and that gives you the reading of your resistance of that ground rod.
Now, when you have the power company come in, do they want a ground check on those?
No, they don't care.
No,
they don't. As long as the town has signed off on your installation, they hook it up. They just hook it up. But the cable that goes from the house to the street to the pole, that's dry rotted. When I was on the roof looking at it, you could see cracks in it.
In the pole, outside your house?
The wire that goes from my house to the pole.
Oh, then they better be notified that.
Oh, when I call them to tell them
run a new line.
that I'm going to let them know, hey, when you guys come to hook up my 200 amp service, plan on running a new cable.
Well, they're going to have to go heavier gauge wire anyways.
Well, they supposed to go, if you had a 100 amp service.
They should double the...
Well, they won't. What they'll do is they'll say, well, due to the fact that the cable is in mid-air, its coefficient for cooling is sufficient that we don't need to change it.
There's still a voltage drop across that wire.
They don't care. Well, that's what they're gonna do. But this is the cable I think that was in the house at a 60 amp service.
Yeah, well, that's not enough.
That's not gonna.
That's not going to support 200 amps. No. You pull 200 amps off of that, you're going to see a drop.
I bought a new clamp-on amp meter, a commercial one for electricians use. And the most amperage that I could find us drawing with the hot water running,
the dryer
was running, the washing machine was running, and the heat pumps, both heat pumps running, was 69 amps. That was the most amperage I could get out of it, 69 amps. And
so when you kick your linear in, that'll be another 30 on top of that.
But I'm putting in a 200 amp service, Yeah. It'll never see that kind of draw, It'll never.
But you still want it done right. I mean, you're paying.
Yeah.
Paying the electric bill, and there's a lot of drop. I don't know what we got up on under the house. I think it's 6 gauge.
Yeah.
Under the house, but it's all underground because the mobile homes that go underground.
Yeah.
The original trailer that was on there was a 30 amp plug fuse.
Yeah.
But the wires underground are rated for 60 amps from the panel. And that's what's in there. There's 2 cartridge fuses that are in there, 60 amps on each side. So our main is 60, and that's it.
Yeah.
Their mobile home came with a 100 amp service, but the electrician, when we set our mobile home up, put in a 60 amp and had to change the wire that goes down under the house from the panel. It goes into a plug box. There's four connectors that go in.
Yeah.
Had to change that to match the box, which is a 60 under the house.
Right.
Because the 100 was a different kind of a cord.
Right.
Well, that's what I'm doing on the electrical. I put a new electrical panel up in the garage where the 200 amp service panel is. I have a mechanical interlock breaker, interlock switch plate, where you shut your main off, and then it allows you to turn on the top right-hand circuit breaker, in which that circuit breaker is fed by an outlet outside the panel that you connect your generator to.
Oh yeah.
And
It's sort of like a transfer switch.
yeah, it's a mechanical transfer switch that mechanically you can't turn one on.
Well,
and
that's like what I got on my generator. I got a mechanical transfer switch, so it's impossible
Right, that's
to
what
throw
yeah, right.
the main on and the generator breaker.
Exactly,
And the generator puts out 30,
Right.
but the breaker is a 20.
Okay.
I'm running 10,
Yeah.
but I'm only using a 20
Right.
on it. That's all I'm using.
Yeah. Well,
So we don't draw that much. We
Yeah.
don't have a well pump. The park supplies the water. We don't use the dryer, obviously, when you lose power.
Right.
So the only thing that's running on the generator is the hot water. The hot water heater isn't even in, because there's no water, because the water's not running anyways. So there's no hot water heater. So the only thing would be running if we lose power is our air conditioner or the furnace, depends on what time of the year it is, which are both 120 volts, okay, and the television and the lights. So
Yeah, you're not drawing much.
not doing that much, no.
Well, I have a 30 amp generator, but I think it's 3,000 or 4,000 watts. I can't remember. I think it's 3,000. And I doubt I'll ever buy a bigger generator. I doubt it very much.
Well, you don't want to, you probably won't be able to run a well pump.
Well, we have city waters, everything.
Oh yeah, then you're
yeah,
okay. Then you
yeah.
don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
You can't run a dryer, of course. Not on that.
No.
Maybe a 10,000 you could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
And you can't really run your UPSs. UPSs don't like the waveform that a generator puts out. Even
Yeah.
though you put on a scope and you look at the waveform of the output of a generator, it's sinusoidal, but it's got little
Trash on it. Yeah.
little hairs on it.
Yeah,
In other words, there's
noise.
harmonics
Noise. Yeah.
on the waveform. And your UPS, your uninterruptible power supplies, we got 3 of them, one on Tommy's, one on Sandy's, and one on mine. They go click, 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 click.
Yeah.
So if you want to run your computer, which we don't on the generator, you have to bypass it and plug the computer directly into the wall.
Yeah.
But we don't run them, because if you get a surge, you'll knock out the power supply in your computer.
Yeah, and then that's big money. Yeah.
So computers, when we lose power, none of the computers work. The televisions are okay, and we use the radio and the lights.
Yeah.
That's all. I think we have to end this video. Any idea how long this has been recording, Tom?
46 minutes so far.
46 minutes.
This is a real flippin' flapper.
It's a real flapper. Real flapper. And
I don't know if we made any friends or any enemies, but that's.
well, I'm sure a lot of people probably clicked off of it and said, "Ah, these guys talk too much." I'll tell you, they got several people that really like the flapping videos. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know
I
why,
do.
but you know.
I do. I like them. You got some nice people that watch your video. I always like to read people's remarks. You know.
I do too. I read them.
So. Yeah.
And for the majority of people, I would say, I'd say 99% of my viewers are good people.
Yeah.
You get a few that are
What do they call them? Trojans or something? That
Trolls.
Trolls.
yeah. But I got my comments selected as approval.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm the only one that'll see it. No one else will, and I'll just delete it. As soon as I see that, it's deleted.
Yeah.
You know, and it's gone. So, you know, I don't have a problem with that. Because not everybody is, you know, some don't have anything better to do in life, or they have no life, you know, and that's just it. So, you know, what are you going to do?
Yeah. Well, it's been nice having coffee with you guys.
Yeah, same
And,
here. Good seeing you.
And
I hope you can figure that thing out, because
Oh yeah.
I can't get that thing to read, because we're operating instructions, you know.
Yeah.
I'm getting a signal out of it, but it's only on that high band, but it did read low on the low bands before, but I had left the buttons all where they were. When I fired it up the next day, it didn't. And it's all solid state, of course.
Uh huh.
And it's similar to HP. You know, there's one screw in the back cover, on the top, I should say. One screw in the back, you slide it off. It's an awful job getting it back in the track again. And you got 2 circuit boards with 2 chrome screws. You turn them by hand, and the boards lift up like that.
Oh, cool. Real nice.
And then you
service.
got about 5 or 6 big computer-grade electrolytics. And you got about a circuit board on the bottom here, you got another one here, and you got another one here. That thing looks like the inside of a Tektronix scope.
Yeah.
Forget about servicing it. It is not serviceable. I mean, you can get at stuff, but you got to know what you're doing. And I never heard of a Data Royal.
No.
Never.
I never. All the years I spent in metrology, I never saw that name come by.
No. And there is a website, Data Royal, but they don't seem to do instruments. But the Data Royal Corporation, made in USA.
They probably made that under a government it or something. You know, and that was just it. They got the specs and built it.
What I did get out, the dial seems to be fairly close.
Yeah.
Close as I can tell. I got it to heterodyne on the radio and so forth, but there's a...
Well, I bought a whole bunch of kits over the last 2 years because I never expected to be this busy. That I expected to be in my shed, making videos, having a good time, but I just never expected to be this busy. You know,
I mean, all that work you did down in Carolina there, putting all those trenches in and running all those satellite dishes.
We built a 2-bedroom cottage and never moved into it. We never got to move into it.
Are you doing anything with satellite TV here, or is it just...
Well, I've got about 8 satellite dishes up, and right now they're not the cable that goes from the dishes to the house. I disconnected it the other day to dig the trench. But I've been watching some news feeds and stuff on them. Yeah, that was. But I haven't been playing around with them like I used to.
Well, you're as busy as a one-arm paper hanger with the
crabs.
What. You know what, folks.
Well, God bless everybody out in YouTube land. We love you all. Stay well. 73s.
Okay, folks. That concludes this video. Let Tommy do his editing.
Yeah.
You do the editing. Take care, everybody.
Bye.